Of course. Justice shall be done. Certainly. The light is my strength. A sound plan. Certainly. Of course. For honor. A sound plan. Certainly. Of course. A sound plan.
Just as I foresaw.
A sound plan. Is there danger? For honor. Certainly. Feel my wrath. The light is my strength. For honor. Certainly. Of course. For honor. Certainly. A sound plan. Of course. For honor.
Do not
I stand for the light. Of
Of
course. Certainly. You are past redemption. The light is my strength. For honor. Certainly. For honor. Of course. Certainly. A sound plan. Certainly. I'm here to help.
Hello.
Let me face the peril.
Welcome to our village.
I stand for the light.
Greetings, my lord.
I'm here to help. As you wish. For honor.
I'm for.
Nature is restless by the spirits. For Kalimdor.
I stand for the light. A sound plan. For honor. For my father, the king. A sound plan. Certainly. For honor. Of course. You are past redemption. Of course. A sound plan. Feel my wrath. You are past redemption. Certainly. For my father, the king. Of course. A sound plan. For honor. A sound plan. For honor. Of course. Certainly. For honor. Certainly. For honor. Certainly. Of course. For honor. Of course. Certainly. A sound plan. Of course. For honor. Certainly. A sound plan. For honor. Of course. Certainly. Foul knave.
Let the hunt begin. I can taste their blood. Let the hunt begin. I am the law. Justice shall be swift. Let the hunt begin. Understood. They shall not escape. Let the hunt begin.
For honor. Certainly. Justice shall be done. Of course. Justice is done.
Hello.
The light is my strength. Certainly. Of course. For my father. A sound plan. Foul knave. Feel my wrath. Justice has come. I'm here to help. For honor. Of course. Foul knave. Certainly. Sound plan. For honor. Betrayer of light. A sound plan. Certainly. For honor. A sound plan. For honor. Of course. A sound plan. Certainly. Foul name. Justice. I stand for the light. For honor. Certainly. A sound plan. Certainly. A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan. For my father, the king.
Understood. Let the hunt begin. Understood. Justice shall be swift. Understood.
Justice shall be. Certainly. A sound plan. Certainly. A sound plan. For honor. Certainly. Of course.
Let the hunt begin. I can taste their blood. Let justice be served.
I stand for the light. Enlighten me. Is there danger? For honor. A sound plan. For honor. A sound plan. Betrayer of the light.
Understood. Justice shall be swift. I am the law. They shall not escape. I am the iron hand of justice.
The light is my strength. Certainly. For honor. Of course. Certainly. Of course. Certainly. Of course. For honor. Justice is come.
Is someone injured? As you wish. Of course. As you wish.
I'm here to help. Feel my wrath. A sound plan. Betrayer of light. For honor. Feel my wrath. Betrayer of light. Of course. A sound plan. Certainly. Of course. Certainly. Foul name.
Understood. Let the hunt begin. I am the law. Understood. Justice shall be swift.
Aye? Wait till you see me in action. Brilliant!
I stand for the light. Of course. Feel my wrath. A sound plan.
Understood. Let justice be served. They shall not escape. Justice shall be sworn. Understood.
The light is my strength. For honor.
Welcome to our village.
I'm here to help. A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan. For my father, the king. Justice is come. Betrayal is life. Battle thee. Justice shall be done. For honor.
Give me something to do!
The light is my strength. A sound plan. Certainly. A sound plan. For honor. Of course. For honor. You are past death. For my father, the king. You are past redemption. Feel my wrath. Ask for me. I stand for the light. You are past redemption.
I am not afraid.
Is there danger? My bidding. Justice shall be done. Of course, for honor. The light is my strength. I'm here to help. Certainly. A sound plan. Of course. Certainly. For honor. For my father, the king.
By the spirits, I am your servant. Once again.
I can taste it. Let justice be served.
Certainly. For honor.
I'll do my best.
Certainly.
There it is.
I stand for the light. light is my strength. Certainly. I stand for the light.
Thy bidding.
Is there something amiss?
Is there danger? A sound plan. You are past redemption.
Let the hunt begin. Justice shall be sworn. They shall not escape. I am the law.
Aye?
I'm here to help. Of course. I stand for the light. I'm here to help. For honor. Of course. For honor. Justice is power. Father, the king. Betrayer of the light. You are past. Betrayer of the light.
What would you ask? It shall be
The
done.
light is my strength. Justice shall be done. Certainly. A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan. For honor. Of course. Certainly. A sound plan. I'm here to help. Of course. A sound plan. Of course. Certainly. A sound plan. Of course. Certainly. For honor. I stand for the light. Of course. Certainly. Of course. Certainly. A sound plan. Certainly. Of course.
That's more like it.
Certainly. A sound plan. The light is my strength.
That's more like it.
Certainly. Of course. I'm here to help.
That's more like it.
Justice shall be done. I stand for the light. For honor.
That's more like it.
I'm glad you're here.
The light is my strength.
That's more like it.
Certainly. Of course. I'm here to help. For honor.
That's more like it.
The light is my strength. Of course.
Hello. Welcome to our village.
I'm here to help. Certainly.
That's more like it.
Justice shall be done. A sound plan. Of course. Certainly.
That's more like it.
Is there danger? I stand for the light. For honor.
That's
A
more
sound
like
plan. Of course. For honor. Of course. For honor. Certainly. For honor. Of course. A sound plan. Certainly. The light is my strength. Is there danger? Of course. The light is my strength. A sound plan. For honor. A sound plan. Of course. For honor. Is there danger? Certainly. A sound plan.
Hello.
That's more like it.
I stand for the light. Certainly. Of course. A sound plan. Certainly.
That's more like it. That's more like it.
Is there danger? Of course.
I am not afraid.
Justice shall be done. For honor. Certainly. For my father.
Let the hunt begin. They shall not escape. Let justice be served. I am the law. And by their ruin, justice shall be swift.
I stand for the light.
Ashvalano.
Justice shall be done. Is there danger?
Welcome to our village.
The light is my strength. Of course. For honor. Of course. For honor. Certainly. A sound plan. For honor. Certainly. Is there danger? Of course. For honor. Of course. Certainly. For honor. A sound plan. Of course. Justice shall be done. Certainly. For honor. Of course. For honor. Of course. Feel my wrath.
Have you reached a verdict?
Is my aim. The light is my strength. For my father, the king. Betrayal. You are past death. At your call. I stand. Justice is done. The light is my strength. A sound plan. For honor. You are past death. Feel my wrath. Betrayal of light. Of course. For honor. Of course. A sound plan. Certainly. Of course. Certainly. Of course. Certainly. Of course. A sound plan. For honor. A sound plan. For honor. Of course. For honor. A sound plan. Of course. Feel my You are past
Wait till you see me in action.
Is there danger? I stand for the light. Of course. For honor. Certainly. A sound plan. Certainly. The light is strength. For honor. A sound plan. For honor.
Let the hunt begin.
Stand for the light. Feel my wrath. Betrayer of the light.
Drano! Our forces are under attack!
What would you ask of me?
Give me something to do!
Is there danger? Justice shall be done. A sound plan. Of course. The light is my strength. For honor. A sound plan. Of course. Certainly. Of course. For honor. Certainly. Of course. Certainly. For honor. For my father the king. Certainly. Foul.
Understood. I can taste their fear. Justice shall be swift. Let the hunt begin. I can taste their fear. Justice shall be swift. They shall not escape. Let justice be served. I can taste their fear. Understood. Let the hunt begin. Justice shall be swift. I can taste their fear. Understood. I can taste their fear. Let the hunt begin. They shall not escape. I am the law.
Is there danger?
Out of my way!
The light is my strength. Of course. A sound plan. Of course. Feel my wrath.